Alright, so we got the rest of Blazing Vortex this morning. A few additional leaks and everything else kind of came out. And one of the things that came out along with that is the new Security Force Archetype. I have not looked at these cards yet, as I typically try to do when doing reactions to new stuff. So what you're seeing is genuine, and we kind of go through it together. There's 6 cards, so one of them is a link, and then 5 are main deck monsters. I was not able to locate any spells or traps, so I'm guessing this is just like the beginning of introducing them, and we'll kind of see whether or not they get more support. Definitely a Time Thief vibe coming from some of these cards and everything. I tried to incorporate that into the thumbnail. But let's take a look at these cards, see if they continue the trend of Blazing Vortex, giving us some really good stuff, and see if it's worth getting hyped about. Now, before I do, I just want to ask you guys, if you have not already subscribed, please take just a second, click that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 3,100 subs by November 1st. If we do, we will be doing a giveaway for the month of November. 8 days to go. We need 3 subs. They go up and down from time to time. So if you haven't subbed already and you're watching, go ahead and click that button so that we can, improve the channel's reach and just allow me to produce more content in general. Let's take a look at Security Force, starting with the Link monster. We've got Security Force Justify. This is a Cyburst Link. Needs 3 effect monsters, including a Security Force monster. You cannot summon or set monsters to a zone this card points to. Well, that's immediately... You cannot. So it points to your opponent's zones. It says you cannot summon set monsters to a zone this card points to. I'm going to go ahead and guess that means you can't special summon cards from your hand to an opponent's zone. That would be my guess. Like kaijus and stuff. I don't think this is locking your opponent out of using those zones because it specifically says you. These are rough translations, so that may change, but I think that would be kind of insane. Doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. I guess we'll have to see. You can target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Then you can move that monster to your opponent's monster zone this card points to. So that is a quick effect. Really solid, actually. Negate an effect monster's effects. Just gives you good response. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can banish all monsters it points to. So that's pretty solid. I mean, you can utilize the effect like during your opponent's turn to negate something and then move it. On your turn, negate something else, move it, attack, and banish the monsters. That's a neat... I like that. That's definitely a unique kind of effect. Like I said, I'm a little unclear on the wording of that beginning part, but it seems like you can't summon or set anything to the zone. That's my guess. Maybe you guys have heard differently. Maybe there's other updated translations, but that's the way I'm taking it. Because if your opponent couldn't summon anything to those zones, you're locking them into summoning 2 monsters, and you can negate stuff. That seems kind of insane, but I guess we'll see. For the main deck monsters, we've got Security Force Platina, PLA-Tina, I'm not sure. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target a banished Security Force monster, accept itself, special summon it. Monsters your opponent controls that battle a Security Force monster you control lose 600 attack. I don't know why they said face in the translation, but these are what I have to use right now. So I really like the artwork on this. This is definitely giving me like a Time Thief kind of vibe. Cool archetype, and I'm hoping that we continue to get new cards with art that just has that kind of cool futuristic look to it. This is level 6, so I don't know exactly how you're putting this out. I'm hoping we got something that'll allow you to special summon it, or there's monster effects that'll put these on the board, because otherwise, I mean, it's not exactly the best card I've ever seen. Alright, Security Force Gravitino, another really neat art. It kind of looks like one of the masked heroes. I don't remember which one, though. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Security Force card from your deck to your hand. Good, but it's level 5, so that's kind of problematic. Monsters your opponent controls the battle Security Force monster you control are banished when they leave the field. Okay. Again, not really anything amazing with that level being 5, but let's see what their, non-level 5 support does. Security Force Orifice. Your opponent cannot target monsters they control that battle a security monster with card effects. Okay. So if your Security Force monster battles an opponent's monster, they cannot target their monsters with card effects. These are some rough translations, I will be honest. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, you can banish a Security Force card from your hand, destroy that monster. That's a quick effect. So it doesn't negate, but it does destroy it. It is 1800. It's searchable, being a cyber, so it's not horrible. I'm guessing that first effect is to stop the opponent from using attack and defense modifying stats. Unless that's a typo and it's supposed to be that your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects while, Security Force, but that doesn't seem like what the wording is. I think it's putting that restriction on their monsters. Security Force Professor Digamma definitely looks like one of the Psy-Frame cards. I like the artwork here. It seems like, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but a throwback to a lot of other arts. If the card is normal or special summon, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change its battle position. The battle position of monster your opponent controls that a face battle of Security Force monster you control cannot be changed except by card effects. This is bad. I mean, it's a level 3 Psychic, so it can come out of the deck, but changing battle position on a normal summon is not groundbreaking, especially in 2020. I don't see this doing all that much at all. Dark attribute, level 3, it's neat. It has some stuff going for it, but it's going to depend entirely on the support. And then the last one, Security Force Rappa Chiyomaru, straight out of Naruto here. Monsters your opponent controls that battle Security Force monsters you control cannot target monsters for attacks except a monster in their column. Okay. So basically you can move a monster to the zone the link monster points to and lock it out of attacking. Once quick effect, you can banish a Security Force card from your hand, return this card to your hand, then special summon one Security Force monster from your deck in defense position. Okay, so this is kind of silly then. This is a quick effect. So this is what's going to bring out your higher monsters here. Platina, Gravitino, and, well, Orifice, I suppose, to a lesser extent. But this is pretty good. So banish Security Force from your hand, return this to the hand, and then you grab this one from deck. You special it. You can special summon another one, access the quick effects. I like that. I think this might be the best of the archetype so far. It's level 2 warrior. It's searchable. Overall, just seems like a really neat card. Obviously, I'm a little iffy on these translations, like I said, because this only was dropped a couple of hours ago, so things could change, and if they do, we'll touch on it in a future video, but I like this card, assuming that everything is accurate on its stats and whatnot. Quick effect, bounce it to the hand, special summon a Security Force monster. It's hard once per turn, but it doesn't really matter because you can do it during the opponent's turn and then vice versa. This is solid, and this seems like what's going to kind of pull the rest of that deck together. There's definitely combos with this going into this, as well as Gravitino. It seems like the whole point's going to be to resolve Chiyomaru's effect to put one of your monsters on the board and then kind of ladder up from there. So I do like it. It does seem neat, really cool artwork. I don't know whether or not I'm sold on this in any capacity as any type of competitive archetype at this point, but there seems to be a neat foundation with a really good Link monster and, you know, a couple of effect monsters that seem like they could do a lot. So let me know what you guys think. Are you intrigued by this deck at all? Do you think this might be something that's just a one-off in a set, or do you think we'll see more support down the line? I think Justify's pretty damn solid just in terms of what it can do. I'd like to hear from you guys, though, so definitely drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time right here at Love Shack. Bye.